courage to honestly have a good hard look at who we're being.
The other thing that I kept on thinking about was a girlfriend of mine had her house burned down. I mean, she nearly died in it. And everything was gone. Everything. And she'd also immigrated like me, you know. So she's got nothing left. And I put aside a box of my mum's things um, to mail to her. And I kept on thinking that's what she would like have. And all her photos, that's the other thing, photos. Oh my God. How many boxes of photos? So my new thing now is that if I don't sit at times going through my photo albums, then Kalis has either got to take them for her storage, which I don't want to do to her, or they've got to go.
Yeah.
If I don't use them more this year, then at the end of the year they've got to go. But do something with it. I won't be able to let all of them go, but I'm going to have to, do a major purge. Now, luckily, I've got a mixture of friends around me. Some of them are like me, and others are no, gone, out. So it depends on what mood I'm in, who I ask to come and help me.
I was thinking about that, Allison. It's like when we can recognize the 9 months of preparing, like the 1 week of like all the moving around, right? And now it's like all that's it's like not that like something about like all of that is like the creation is now there. So it's in, now it's like the completion and completing and then preparing for something new again.
Mm.
So it's like in the transition. So it's the recovery now.
Mm.
I mean, you think of it, it was like 8 months, it hardly went anywhere, yet you were doing a lot.
Mm. Mm.
You just think of just wonder, like, what is I mean, it's maybe release of stress until, we're so attached to stress that we put it on something else. Not you is like, I mean, but there's versions of it. We all have versions of it.
Absolutely. No, it's for sure we do. Definitely. And also, I mean, if I think about it, as I shared with you that when we got the email in February that kind of was a threat for eviction, like it took my body a few days to kind of adjust, and then I had an experience which I haven't had for a long time, and that was a real deep curiosity about and a conviction that what was going to be on the other side was really important for me. So it wasn't, I didn't stay with the loss of the home for as long as I kind of imagined I would.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
That likely is your pattern, isn't it? Like to hold on to those things of the past.
Yeah. Yeah.
You think of that conflict, right? It's like have to move and wanting to hold on to what it was, and in reality, it's like your partner, um, was holding on more to the old house of not moving than you knew you had to.
Mm. And still is.
Mm-hmm.
Afternoon, Ian.
Yes.
Hi,
Ian.
hi, hi.
Afternoon, Ian.
Morning, Allison.
Hey, Ian.
Hi, Will.
So glad you guys are all here.
Yeah, invite you into the gathering. I was thinking about that, like the awareness, and we talk about it like we're always aware. And I was thinking about it, it's like I might get 5 or 6 moments that are like I would call awareness in a day. So it's not all the time. It can't be. It takes way too much energy.
Mm.
But when you are, it's what do you do with it?
Mm. Mm.
I don't think I ever reflected or paused. Like, like in the never caught it the way I can catch it now.
Mm.
It takes will to focus, and focus is power. So where you choose to place your focus is where you're placing the power.
Yes, yes. What the focus is like, or what draws your attention? Known and unknown, aware and unaware.
I wonder, well, with what you were saying, for me, the power comes in the choice of the focus.
Nice. Yeah, can you elaborate on that? Not can you, but like if you would like to, I'd love to hear more.
Well, okay, so put yourself in a situation, and then you've got a lot of distraction around you. There's a lot going on, and you have to choose where you're going to focus on to get to be moving in some form of in some coherent form, to be instrumental enough. And for me, it's that it's that thing of, okay, so what do I want? Out of all of this that's going on around me, what do I want? And that's when I already start feeling the empowerment, because then I'm coming from inside. To keep the focus takes a lot of empowerment as well, because you've got to keep on sweeping the distraction out of the way. And it can be really, really, really challenging. I find it very challenging at times. And
while it like attending to the focus.
and it's fine when it's quiet. Like if I'm on my own, maybe not always, but most of the time when I'm on my own, and it's fine. I can do that. But when I've got somebody else, wow, behind me, that's where my automatic comes in, because I'll be, calm as the waters can be, and then all of a sudden, that calmness does not hold, and yeah, let's say there's an explosion after that. I have warning of it, because I know what my pattern is. So I know I can say to myself, this is not going to last. You better do something about this. So I've gotten better in that way, just being aware of it. And it really wears one down, if you're allowed to, I guess.
Yeah.
You guys were talking about expectations of a marriage when I came in. And expectations of what it should look like. But I'm not so sure that, I don't know whether that's all that relevant in terms of what it looks like. It's about what it makes you feel like. Like, does it give you room to expand with a person, or are you continually fighting a contraction? Not even fighting, just having to counter.
Yeah. Wouldn't that be like what we think a marriage is?
For me, I just think I don't know if it's about maybe it is about what you think it is, but why have a marriage like that when it's not necessary? I mean, it's got to do with the degree of it, for sure. At times, at times it can be like that, for sure. But if it's constantly like that, then for me, it's not a marriage anymore. Certainly,
Yeah, well, like society says that's what you do.
Society says you do what?
Marriage, get married.
Oh, yeah, but I mean, as we know, or many, many, many different ways.
Mm-hmm. And
I mean,
men and women who dream about marriage as a kid differently. Never gave it a thought. And to me, it seems as girls will fantasize about it as kids. I didn't. I don't play house. So here it's like, what's in the background or the unconscious, right? That's built into it completely, like it's all there. It's just different for everyone.
Mm-hmm. It sure is.
I mean, you think of it as like, oh, if this contract is supposed to look like this and it doesn't, there's going to be frustration in it. And typically that frustration is pointed at the other person. It doesn't have to be, but that's one way it could go. And you could have two people doing that. Ooh, wow, look at that. And continuing to practice in the silence prepares for the interactions.
Mm.
And continue to go to the unconscious and conscious. Unconscious just happens, right? It is what we do. It's like it's where the automatics are. And if you run the numbers, it's like pretty well much everything is controlled and like played out in the unconscious.
Mm.
Now we like to tell ourselves like um, like that the conscious mind, right, the focused mind, has all the power, but in all reality, it has nothing. It just has the illusion of power. And the studies, and I don't have the numbers, but it's like 10. It's compared to 10 to 40 million each second. It's like that's the difference between the two. And we want to focus on changing our consciousness. changing our words, changing our stories, like focusing on that when it's like the unconscious is where the structure exists. The conscious is just where it plays out.
Mm.
Like the conscious brings forth one thing that's important. That's all it does. That's all it's doing. And then what do we do with that? That's the unconscious. Ah,
I was also thinking to myself the other day, Jesse, as you're talking now, it's come back. And that how how words and the tone of words, how I get impacted by that.
yeah.
And my challenge to myself was just don't hear it. Just, because there's a pattern.
Here's something else.
Yeah.
And that's what I heard, right? It's like to hear something else. It's like, oh, I
Yeah.
heard that. I heard that, but I'm going to move it. I'm going to just turn it to this.
Oh, I wasn't even thinking of that. I was just thinking completely tuning out and focusing on something completely different.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard to do. I mean, I kind of managed.
Mm-hmm.
I'm at least at the point where I don't get hooked into a conversation that I don't want to be in.
I've got a question for you guys. What does going within mean to you? Because I keep getting like my next action step is to come within. So I'm just wondering, what does going within mean to you?
Good question.
And it's like the faith that everything I need, everything that I want, everything that is, uh, is through me. I can find it. Like I can have it in here. So to go inside and find it, I'm curious about it, wonder about it. It's like, I think it's a lot of the invisible. Yeah. And I think it's like even in this silence, right? We've had moments of silence. And it's like, what? But inside of us, there may or may not be silence, and no one can tell. Only you can. So I think an example, Ian, of going in is in the silence is just to, it's like in the waters of silence, what are your waters doing? Just to observe, is it rough waters? Is it calm waters? And it's like, and then in the silence, it's like just uh, detach from the things that pop up, that rise out of that water. That's what I have learned about going inside. I love to hear others so that it expands mine. Of what it means to them to go inside.
I love that description of the waters, Jesse. So for me, I have two ways of working with it. The one is to say to myself, go inward. And the other is let the stillness do what it can do. Because I have memory of the experience of expansion that stillness can bring for me. And when I'm in external chaos and I need that internal stillness, it's almost like I have to have my body be a container that it all just washes through. And if I can let it wash through, then everything's okay. It's good. I think it's when I can't, that's when the frustration will come about, and I have to either physically move away or I have to speak to it. But it happens, or the stillness, I have places in my body where it's very evident for me. I can recognize it.
Thank you. Yeah, I've just been getting the words come within. When I've been doing my lenses, and what I've been doing, what that's been meaning for me is just to give myself what I'm looking for externally. Like I would like a partner, but give myself what I'm looking for from a partner.
Mm-hmm.
My biggest pattern that I've noticed is worth. That's my biggest one, worth. And I've noticed a pattern of like wanting immediate validation. And it's to do with, oh, am I worthy? So it's like the immediate validation that I've been noticing, which is to do with worth, which is a mother wound. So just sitting with it, and if I notice that I want the immediate validation, just sitting with it and like, but I know it's around worth, so that's why I want the immediate validation. Is what I said worthy? Is what I've done worthy? So yeah, I notice a pattern.
That's great awareness.
And I'm just choosing to let it go and to validate myself and to find my worth from within myself. Pat myself on the back, sort of thing.
Do a hop, skip, and a jump. That's what I felt when you said that.
Does the validation feel needy?
Sorry, I didn't hear that, Jesse.
Does the validation feel needy?
I'm not sure. I don't think it feels needy. I just think it's like, I'm not sure.
But the word reassurance came to me when you answered.
Yeah, that reassurance, like I've said the right thing, or it's just pattern from childhood. I can see it. words around worth because that's the biggest one out of all of them for me.
Yeah, that's great. We all have same pattern. We just put different words to it.
Mhm.
It's like we attach to an unresolvable pattern, right? To unresolvable, and until we see until we see it. But we're all in the same one. We just use different words.
So the structure is the same.
That's exactly.
Unresolvable pattern.
Mhm.
Is that psychological tension we're talking about?
Yes, I think so.
Yeah. Like an unconscious pattern that is always trying to get us to resolve it. And then if we get caught up in it, it drags us away from our creative tension.
Yeah.
It's like a dance between the two.
Mm-hmm.
It's like you're on a bungee cord and you're stuck in the middle going back and forth. Ding dong, ding dong.
Yeah.
Ding dong, the witch is dead. The psychological tension, witch is dead. I don't know where this stuff comes from. It just kind of flows. The craziness just flows out. There's judgment.
I was gonna say you called it crazy. It's like
How dare you
that's
call me crazy?
right. It's like
I was talking about myself.
yeah. All depends if the crazy is good or bad, open space or closes space, or makes you feel good or not. Right? Because at the end of the day, that's all we want.
Mm-hmm.
Want to experience. That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. Why do I watch movies? Why do I watch TV shows? Because I want to experience the story. We're writing our own story right now.
Yeah, we'd rather live someone else. We'd much rather live someone else's than our own.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
That's just shallow.
it's detaching from reality.
Hmm.
And the power. Where's the power? Detaching from reality or just accepting reality and choosing where we place our focus and power. I'm going to place my focus on TV. That's where the power is.
Yeah, and it's like
Power is,
why? It was like why? And it's because well, I'm giving my attention to it.
and there's always reasons. It's like well, I'm going to distract myself
Mm-hmm.
rather than be okay with silence. Do a deep dive on something and expanding my awareness. I'm just going to distract myself by watching people kill each other.
Mm-hmm. That's the sickness in it, right? It's the uh, it's like, will I find what I'm looking for out there, or in here?
Well, if we're looking out there, then U2's song is applicable.
I feel like that's why I keep getting the words come within.
I heard your sigh. It's like, ah, good.
Where's the power? It's out there.
I mean, it's normal, right? It's like we're hungry. What do?
Eat.
So it's from out there to in here, right? We want to feel loved. We hug. We get attachment, right? Affection, right? It's from out there to in here.
Mhm.
I mean, it's like not wrong to see it work that way. It's just limited to see it work that way. Because really, you think of it as like out there's not hungry. There's others out there that are hungry, right? That's different. But like out there is different than you're hungry. Well, that is just supplying us energy. Right? We've got to continue to provide energy, right? And energy so we can feel good about it or feel like shit about it. Either way, you still got to eat. I mean, you think like the home we were raised in, that was all out there. Yet, man, does it shape so much of in here.
Hmm.
I have been
Some
noticing though, sorry,
oh, please take it again.
the more I have been coming within, the more I've been feeling other people's energies.
Mm.
Like I went out the other day, a guy that I know started talking to me and I felt sick because I could feel his energy and it was really low and I felt sick. And then some people when I'm around them, I feel more energized after. Like when I go to events and I'm around some people, I feel more energized. So I've started to feel that.
Here's the question I love. What's obvious about those What's obvious about the difference in those two stories? Avoid what doesn't feel good, get away from it, and go towards what feels good.
Mm.
So I was still
What?
nice to him, like I was still like hi, and I
Yeah.
still spoke to him. It's just
Heck yeah. Heck yeah. Not that's yes, it's like pleasantry, but it's like I'm not gonna stay here any longer than I have to. Right? Because
yeah,
I don't
that's
I
right.
don't want to feel sick.
Mm.
Right? I mean you just give me and we've conditioned, right, ourselves to yeah, get away from those situations. Now the question is my resistance, his resistance, or our resistance? See, that's what matters when you start to feel other people's energies.
Learning to differentiate. It's like learning to speak a new language, but you're not speaking it, you're experiencing it.
This guy that I was talking about gave me a hug, and when I got home, I felt like I had to save myself
Oh,
because it felt
Did you?
really, it
Did
felt
you?
yeah, I did, yeah,
Yeah,
because it
good.
felt really low energy, yeah, and I saved myself because I felt sick, and
yep.
yeah,
Yeah, man.
And
and I didn't
sometimes,
really want a hug, but I didn't want to say no, I don't want a hug, so
Yeah.
but yeah, I
so
saved myself from head to toe.
it's funny because you said you staged yourself.
Sage, it's like
Yeah.
sage.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
You,
yeah,
that's
yeah,
what you said, right? What I heard was
yeah.
I went home and I saved myself. That's what I heard.
Mm.
And then I'm like, oh no, you said sage. It's kind of funny. Yeah, even just having that awareness of, is this my energy or is this someone else's energy? It's just their experience. And am I absorbing their energy? And am I also allowing that psychic energy to connect like a cord and drain me now? Or am I okay with cutting that cord and releasing it and being in my power? Like it's a choice and it's an option that's available when we are aware of it. When we're not aware of it, then it's like, oh, choice is gone. I'm out of choice because I'm not aware of it. But when I become aware of it, the opportunity opens, choice opens. That's just my perspective. That's all. Morning, Chi. I mean, good day, Chi. Good afternoon,
Good
Chi.
evening, everyone.
Afternoon, Chi.
Hello, Chi. It's
Hi.
like I mean, it is a big breakthrough when we can name our our pattern, right? When we can name our wounding, there, that's a better word for it. When we can name our wounding, and not only name our wounding, but then also name, like, what are we looking for out of it? That clears up so much chaos. So I like ask, it's like, oh, not like as a teacher, but like as a, like, do you know your wounding? So Ian spoke to his. Ian, it's like it's like the worthy, it's like whether I'm worthy or not. It's like this question, am I worthy? In this underlying sense, like the majority of it is no, I'm not. And it's like, well, then what am I looking for out of that? And it's like his was like he's looking for the validation. And did you notice, like, only specific words resonated? That is key because they're your words that work for you. Same structure. The structure works the same. It's just your words you put in there. I mean, it's like filling in the blanks of this sentence, this statement. When I have, then I'll be. It's like if you say that sentence, you will automatically fill in the blanks with your tendencies. And all that's telling you is like, it's telling you the wounding, and then it's telling you what the attachment is, and then it's telling you what the feeling is that you want. Those two things, you figure out, you fill in those two blanks with those two words, and it's like those two words are your prison. Nobody likes to be in prison.
I know what mine is, so it's worthy of love.
Yeah.
And then because of the worthiness of love, I seek the external validation. And that's why I bring in the call to come within to give myself the love and the validation that I'm looking for externally.
You're looking externally for the love. Only you could come up with that answer, Ian. Only you could. So thank you. I mean, did you hear how clear and crisp that was?
Like if somebody validates me, it's like I'm worthy of the love. I can
Yeah.
see it. I see it.
I love you for seeing that pattern. There's so much courage to see that pattern, but only people that have gone through to see their pattern can recognize the importance of it.
Well done, Ian.
I don't know if it's ever over either. I mean, if we just find different ways of it, but what like the intensity changes.
Yeah.
It's kind of like
That's
peeling an onion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, it's so substantial at first, but you start to peel the layers back and it kind of gets smaller in power, has less power over you. The more you get to your core of who you really are, at the core of it all, you find the diamond in the crap. It's just a big old dinosaur turd. And you start chipping away at it, and then eventually you get to the diamond that's within. Just who you really are.
And like you know that at a real deep level. We all know it at a deep level. We just are in the jail, so we don't know how to get there. But that's what we're breaking free of. That's what this week has really been about. Like the attachment,
Mm.
and
And
then go ahead, Allison.
I was just going to say, and the detachment, right?
Yes,
So it's the connection and then the letting go.
that's right.
And to keep on doing that. And
Keep on.
sorry, just
No, just as keep on doing that. Yes, sorry.
yeah, because you expand by doing that over and over and over again.
The big difference for me now is though I'm noticing it. It's like a CD keep playing on repeat.
that
Like
unconscious autoplay.
like there's this woman the other day, and it's like I noticed myself wanting to prove myself to her. And it's like, why the hell am I trying to prove myself to her? Because I want her love. Why? And it's like a pattern from my mum, like wanting to prove myself to my mum. And I noticed it straight away, and I was like, oh, fuck off. And then,
Right.
pardon my language.
Love it, love it. But it becomes part of, oh, not that. You see it?
Yes.
I'm not gonna go there. I'm gonna go somewhere else. I'm gonna take it's like I'm almost gonna take the higher road, the expansive road, the road of love, because that's what you wanted, right? At the end of the day, right? Was love.
Mm.
And there's no proving you can do to get that. That's the unresolvable part. It's like no one out there is ever going to give you enough of it.
Mm.
Hmm.
Unless you continually give it to yourself. Right?
Bingo. That's the
Then
bingo.
yeah,
That's
then there's a match with the other.
right.
But if you continually give it to yourself and there's no matching from the other side, if you I mean, for me, I just feel if you're saint material, then that's good territory, for growth. But if you're not, it's important, I feel, to follow the no and say what Ian said, fuck off, and move away, you know. So it's that dance between yes and no, and the timing of it. When do you say yes and when do you say no? And what do you take? What is the energy that you take from the yes, and what is the energy that you can take from the no? So they're both important. There's value in both of them.
I request a little coaching. Is that around here.
Well, we'll see if it needs coaching or not.
Okay. Thank you. So last year I created a channel and it was worded a certain way. And then I basically did a video every single day. And someone I know locally here found it. And anyways, long story short, I took it down and now I want to create a new channel that's a little more like not a face, kind of more of a faceless channel that is along the lines of, you know, what we're talking about here and all of these concepts and sharing these thoughts and these ideas and this wisdom that we have come to learn with the world, you know, but I'm doing it in a way where, because I basically what the structure is underneath is like fear of judgment and fear of attack from trolls, whether they be people I don't know or people I do know, because they misunderstand and misinterpret what I'm sharing. They put their own crap on it, and then they just come after me, and either directly or passive aggressively. And it's more passive, like just behind my back, kind of, and then it comes around through other people. And this has kind of been my lifelong structure and pattern, I guess, now that I really get still with it. Will, you're coaching yourself. Anyway.
Please
yeah,
don't stop. Please don't stop.
Okay. Don't stop. Yeah, so I want to get back to doing YouTube videos, and I'm okay with like exploring the option of just creating an AI avatar and sharing content from that space. The only thing is that going to be authentic? is that going to connect? Is that really, you know? Because there's this, yeah, like I think it sounds good, but at the same time, there's this, the undercurrent or the structure is this fear of being caught by someone I know sharing this knowledge and this information that in and of itself is neutral, but people tend to place their own judgments and label it and then come after me. So there's the structure. It's the victim mentality again, which is always the psychological tension, the undercurrent.
Someone will always do that. And it's just more about them than you.
Yeah. Wow. Thank you. It's
Detach
like
from,
giving my power away to them.
just detach from what other people think, because half of them is going to like it and they won't tell you anything, and the other half won't like it and they're going to crap all over you.
Wow.
You never think about the refrigerator when it's working.
Wow, that's a good one, man.
I love Heinz's analogies. Always comes up with the most practical things.
Yeah, here I love this. It's like, look at the wobble, the wiggle, and the giggle, right? It's like we're right in the wiggle. We're wiggling right now, right? And it's and there's been giggles, right? There's been giggles, and it's so Will, where should I send the invoice? Heinz, $5,000 sound about right? All right, we're gonna send Will. We're gonna send you a coaching invoice for $5,000.
Okay. How about
No,
we?
no money, no money.
How about?
Allison's teacher would call me a whore then.
Goodness.
And at $5,000, a good one.
Yeah.
I was going to say, who cares at $5,000? Oh,
How about? How about? So I've had a vision for a long time, and I just, due to my personal stuff, I have not fully taken action on it yet, and I am determined now to and committed to create something that we can all be a part of. If you want, if you choose to, it's completely available, and I'm gonna work on it and create something that if you want to be, you can be a part of it. But it's, the choice is yours. So, but basically, like we're already a part of it. We're a part of this community, which I call
yes.
heart-centered creators. It like so far it's just a little chat on Facebook. But having a way where we can connect a little more fully, have access to the Fireside chat or the Fireside Daily as a way of meditating, and also sharing our own unique gifts and talents with not only each other but with the world through this structure that I want to build. And yeah, if it costs a few bucks to to cover the cost of the server and all that, and a little bit of maintenance and whatnot, and upgrades over time, how does that sound to you guys? Just throwing it out there, see what you open to feedback.
Here's what I'll support with you. It's like we're already doing it. So yes,
Yeah,
it's like
exactly.
so it's like yes, what do we do with it now that the assets have been created? Because at the end of the day, you said I want it to be authentic. Like, how will people know it's authentic? And the only way that people know it's authentic is they hear you. They hear your voice. That's all. They don't need to see it. They don't need to. They don't need to. Now, we like to be able to see it. We're comfortable when we're able to see it because we don't trust what we don't see.
Yeah. Wow. Thank you.
But it is only in the words, like in the tone, in the way that it's said, do we really see the authenticity. And that's what's beautiful about removing the distraction of visual.
Just shifting your perspective a little, and you see, you enjoy doing it. And why shouldn't you enjoy yourself just because other people don't enjoy it? Why shouldn't you do it?
Well,
that's giving your power away.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Yeah. And people have their perspective.
Yeah.
And, it's really none of my business, but it's also, but they don't necessarily think like that.
When they talk about what you've been saying, what they're just showing you their hand, what they're carrying, where they're stuck, where they are having trouble.
Yeah. And they're also mirroring my own insecurity.
Yeah.
So that's good. Like they're my teachers. The trolls are my teachers. And what I've heard many times is when you have trolls, when you have haters, you're onto something.
Yeah. And all bullies needs victim. It depends on you if you want to be the victim or not.
Yeah, I can opt out of the victim, the drama cycle.
You could
It's
just
not
write when
good.
people find something offensive. Well, that's your perspective, and you're totally allowed to have that.
Absolutely.
Take his power away.
Because if I make them wrong, then I'm giving them power. Oh, no, you're wrong. You don't get it. Oh, well, there you go. Now the fight's on.
Mhm.
Now the war begins.
Now they
Isn't
got exactly what they wanted.
yep.
And if you don't like it and you don't want it, there's plenty of other stuff available. And if you want to attack it, well, it's actually putting more energy into it in a bit of a dark way, but it does add energy to it.
And even if they don't agree, it opens for more possibilities.
Thank you, Heinz. Thank you so much, man. I really appreciate your feedback, guys.
Well, we'll send you another invoice.
Okay.
Heinz will get half of it. I'll get the other half.
So I'll elaborate a little more on my vision there now. And so this community, it's I, I don't want it to be like a social network, but it almost kind of sounds like it could be that type of thing. But it's more of a you actually would have to apply for it, and you're either accepted or you're not accepted. And I know that could create conflict, but there's going to be like I would structure it like an actual business where there's terms and conditions, and it's very clear that this is accepted and this is not acceptable. So bullying, your membership will be revoked. There'll be codes of conduct and everything. So
Mhm.
just to to have that legal aspect and to protect people so that there's no funny business or shenanigans going on.
Mhm. No, it's like Fireside Daily ground. They're not ground rules. I don't like to say ground rules, but it's like
Yeah,
we expect. It's an invitation. It's an invitation. It's only by invitation, right?
exactly.
Which is what your first part is, and it's a
Exactly.
gathering. It's a gathering. So we all want to gather together. Now we've
Yes.
had times in here, where people didn't really want to gather with other people, yeah, and it's like that's going to happen, right? But
Yeah.
there's got to be there's the thing that has to be in the background is wonder, curiosity,
Yes.
like
And
the
so the
space
values.
expansion, yeah, and then it's like the purpose is breakthroughs. That's the only
Yes.
purpose is breakthroughs. It's like
Yes.
not coaching, not coaching just breakthroughs, and we do that together. It's like we do it as equals, because right, equally we're all in the same structure, we just use specifically different words.
Yeah.
That's the breakthrough, and then we scatter, and it's like that's the end of it, right?
Are you guys familiar with the book Jonathan Livingston Seagull?
Yeah, you put it on Heart Center once, I think.
Oh yeah, like the audiobook?
Yep.
Yeah. And if you're not, it's an amazing story. Like it's a metaphor, obviously, right? And Jesse, every time you use the word breakthrough, I'm like, man, have you read Jonathan Livingston Seagull? Because like that's a huge part of the story. And if you haven't, that's okay.
I
I would
haven't,
highly
no, I
recommend.
haven't.
Oh, I'd highly recommend checking it out. I'll post the audiobook version. It's only a 45-minute listen.
Yeah,
So it's not a very big book, but it's so profound. It just like every time I listen to it, it brings tears
thank
to
you.
my eyes. Yeah. Oh, you're welcome. So the
No.
breakthrough, like it takes a level of consciousness to even be aware of the breakthrough. And that's what you'll find in the book. And Jonathan Livingston Seagull, it's like, okay, it's a seagull, story about a seagull with a name, and he makes discoveries and he has breakthroughs, and then he wants to share it with the pack. He wants to share it with all of his other seagull friends. They don't get it. They don't understand. They just don't understand.
I mean, more
And so we
interested
kind
in mine.
yeah, exactly. Feed me, food, survival. So
Best
he has his,
Nemo mode when you see all the seagulls. Mine,
yeah,
mine,
exactly.
mine.
Yeah, yeah, that's it. So he has his breakthrough, and then he wants to share it, and then he's rejected for it. So he flies off on his own, and he continues to have his breakthroughs and his experience, and then eventually he connects. But I don't want to give it all away, obviously, but this is just my rendition of the metaphor. He has his breakthroughs and he connects with others who have ascended this path of breakthroughs, and they're ascended the journey to higher wisdom and higher consciousness. And he starts flying with them, and the ease of it is powerful and exhilarating and amazing. It's going to make me cry, but this is what I feel like this group is, because we didn't just start this journey yesterday. We've been on this journey for years or decades, some of us, and now we're coming together like a bunch of Jonathans with all this insight and wisdom within each one of us. And I know this world is all about commercial, and the sad reality is we do require a certain amount of income to put food on the table, etc. So my idea is to create this structure that supports the continuation of heart-centered creators in a way where other like-minded heart-centered creators can join and have this platform where we can all connect and share with each other and attract others out in the world who are like-minded to this community, where we all have this opportunity to share our unique gifts, talents, wisdom, art, etc. with each other. And those who wish to join have to apply. And there's going to be a requirement, like a financial requirement, because there's a lot of value here. However, what I'm suggesting here is, could we start off, once I have this set up, testing it for no charge for us, and we get grandfathered in temporarily, and maybe at some point start to have a membership fee just to cover the costs of the servers and whatnot, and then eventually down the road, if this plays out the way I see it playing out, is more people start to join and sign up because they're attracted to this and they want to be a part of it, this movement.
Here's that there's too much of the old structure in that
Yeah.
like, I like the idea. No, here,
Okay.
that's just for an example. Mr. Beast makes $82 million a year just for people watching his content.
Oh yeah.
Right. And so if enough people right, come into this on the YouTube platform, right, they pay, YouTube pays you.
Mm.
No, that's a possibility. Now, here's what I don't want. Like, I'm not going after the models that are there. I'm after creating a whole new one,
Okay.
one that makes sense. And paying for membership for this is not one of them.
Okay.
Now, that doesn't mean a layer behind it can't exist. Without a doubt, but this doorway, no, can't be.
So kind of like Facebook and all these other social media platforms, we don't pay to use them. However, there are ads that support the app, the continuation of the app and all of the back end administration, etc.
Yeah, there'll be like there's I don't know how it's going to come together with it yet. I love the idea, Will. So let's
Okay.
take it offline, and because it aligns with. Uh, I'm in projects already, like for that.
Oh yeah, yeah,
You
yeah.
know, and
There's
so it's like let's connect them together because it's part
okay.
of what you're interested in.
Yeah,
And yes, there's ways to make things scarce without charging.
cool. Okay.
You can make a place where you put like sort of Jonathan, the book is available there. All the free books that are out there, you sort of created a link so people will get easier access to all the stuff you're mentioning.
Yeah. It's like what I see is like basically like an app that you can log into. You've got your own account, and you can create your own content on there and share it just like a social network. And then if people really connect with it, you'll have your YouTube channel. You can put however many links of channels that you share your content on, and have it's almost like a gathering place where you can share. And I guess what I'm describing is Facebook and LinkedIn and all the other social networks. But this one is more of it's a focus on heart-centered creators and people who are visionaries and artists and who just love creating, and creative people who love that and want to express their heart through their creations. That's really at the core, the demographic or the niche or whatever.
Sort of like what if you did the commercial part of it, you can just places where it mention it by mentioning what is it called, MagMind or something like that. Well, then you get commercial from them. So by this course, there's this course, there's this course, and you can mention a lot of courses. But that you're actually promoting their work also.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. You're getting it, right?
So you don't need to have a membership. You can actually live off commercials, like Jesse said, that as soon as you're mentioning somebody else's work, they need to pay you.
Yeah.
If they
So
get a certain amount of new customers because of that site, well, then you're entitled to something.
There you go. That could become a very complex affiliate structure. But hey, maybe it's simple. Maybe just be a simple affiliate plug-in and plug it in and set it up,
Because there's a lot of courses out there in the world.
That's
Yeah.
but they all have the same structure. Now, and we did it here. Will, you did it here when you came in. It's like I could use some coaching, right? So
Yeah.
what is the pattern for people that say, oh, I need a coach? Now, look, I'm not against coaches. I'm against it.
Yeah.
Right. But we have to be a little bit more specific to like how coaches work for us. And it's like how you said it, Will, and it just didn't land right with me. It's like, well, here it is. It's like all you need is the space to speak out loud what you're in the middle of, and you are your own coach. How the hell can you pay for that?
Priceless.
No, how can you pay for that?
Oh,
To me, coaches that say here's my hierarchy, here's my pedestal, put me on a pedestal, you pay me for me to give you the insight. That's bullshit.
because it's inside them.
Yes.
You're just the guide. That's it.
That's it. And if you go to any coaching program, the participants don't speak. So there's no room for them to have their own breakthrough. And that is the structure that just keeps playing over that's worth billions of dollars. So how do you make that useless? That's what this is.
Well, it depends if what your intention is, the undercurrent, the underlying structure. Is it to change the system or to make a new system that works and benefits all?
That's it.
I like that.
It's changing the structure because everyone it's look, Will, I mean, we played it out. It was like, you pay me the money and I'll give you the breakthrough. How good is that working? Like, is that really working?
No.
It's if it is, the industry wouldn't exist, right?
It would be better the other way around.
Yeah.
Give you the breakthrough and you give me the money.
Yes.
Yeah. Ooh, like basically you pay me after the services are rendered, like traditional service businesses.
Oh.
Which is where the platform, where the money platform shows up, right? It's like if there's something that somebody does that helps you and you have some coins, right? Like a game, you give them your coins. It's a quote transaction. And then people see, well, whoever has the most value, right, or coins is the one that has helped the most.
Yep.
Now, I don't know. It's just kind of but people love to play games.
Yeah. So gamifying things in a way that supports people in their own discoveries, really.
Yep. Yeah, well,
Their own breakthroughs.
Every coaching program that I've been a part of, it's always a coach telling everyone what to do.
So how could we gamify breakthroughs? That is amazing, because I know that ADHD people or ADHD type minded people can focus if they're doing something that they love.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a lot of people who have ADHD, and not even just ADHD, but a lot of us in general in society are very ADHD like because of media.
Mm-hmm.
So gamifying a breakthrough, what are some possibilities for that? And I guess this is a conversation maybe that could go offline, or not, if you guys are open to it. But this is getting into a lot of heady stuff. I know that the fireside is not all about that. It's more about heart rather than head. But I really thank you all for your feedback. Sorry, go ahead.
I think what's important is that everyone sees they have a wounding pattern that they are living out. And the more that they can say, like, oh, you have my pattern, it's like my pattern's like yours, my pattern's like yours. It's like that's where we're going to draw into, because we see it similar. Right? And so it's like that's part of like what I was asking, because almost in a way it's like you come here and it's like, oh, that's my pattern. Here's resources to help you with that pattern.
Yeah.
So yours was, you spoke to yours as like the victim. So it's like the tendency is the victim. Ian was like not, his was worthy, like not worthy. Mine is not good enough, right? Not good enough. So I'm going to prove at the end of it, it's always some proving, right? The outcome is always some proving. Do you see that? No matter what.
Yeah.
Do you see how that's just a wide net when they talk about niches, right? That's a wide niche, but you got to get the lanes set up. And I think the lanes are the wounding.
Yes. Yeah. And I see that that's what marketers do. They take those 6 core wounds and they speak to them.
Yeah.
And because it connects, because people are in their wounds. We all are.
Yeah.
Yeah. But the breakthrough is not being fixated on your wounds.
Right.
The breakthrough is getting out of that structure
That's
into who you really are. So let's break through that crap.
That's right. Everybody
Break
wants to
through
find
the
the
awareness
source.
of it.
That's right, Heinz. That's right.
The awareness
To
of
really
what
this is.
what your structure is, and then asking yourself, what can I do about it? Okay, who has a similar situation that could give me some advice? Well, that's worth some coins to me to go to that person. Then it gets personalized, that it's sort of like everyone is working for a higher collective.
Yes. Getting it.
And you might be the student one day, but be the teacher the next, because that's where your strength is.
That's right. Yes. It can change, and that's what's here is like the intent is that it can change every moment. Now, I probably talk more than that is, right? And so it's like I work to be equal, like equal here, and if equal, like that's key point to me here. Not a hierarchy, equal.
It's because if we're all equal, then we are all good enough.
That's right. That's right.
So that has to be part of the structure too. There is no hierarchy. We are all equal.
It's a campfire
So
chat.
that's one of the values really, that is equality.
Mhm.
Yeah.
What could be another value of this community? Because we are a community, whether we recognize it or not.
Equal, 3 Gs, yes and. Like that is the values.
Equal,
3 Gs.
3 Gs. Oh,
Mhm.
geez, what's
Three
that?
Gs is respect. It's like respect for your gifts, your genius, and your greatness. And that's for everyone's. Everyone has that. So it's to respect that of everyone's. There's no room for judgment in that.
Respect for gifts,
Gifts, greatness, and genius.
gifts, greatness. Are genius and greatness the same thing or no? I guess no. I guess no, they aren't. Okay. Gifts, greatness, genius. Awesome, thank you. And what was the third
Yes
value?
and.
Yes.
Yes and.
Yes, and.
And so those are like facilitators will be listening for people that are expanding those and working with those that are not. Now, I don't know what that working with those aren't, but you do enough of, if you don't fall into that over and over and over again, there will be like, you will not be invited back.
Yes. Yes. Because there has to be structure still that embrace that whole, there, there gets to be structure and facilitators that can hold the container so it stays true to the values, and they create a safe space for everyone to be able to honestly and openly be vulnerable, because this is a very vulnerable space.
And it needs to be safe, and it needs to, there's certain things that have to take place in it, right? And in
We
all
will not
reality,
tolerate.
it's like we've been practicing with it for nearly 2 years every day.
Yeah. And you have been practicing, you're facilitating, and gaining the skill of that. And so now you're in a unique position to, I want to say champion, but you're uniquely experienced. Yeah, you're uniquely experienced to train other facilitators.
Which is what we've been doing.
We're all facilitators now.
Already. Well, I wouldn't go there.
No.
I would not grant. I wouldn't be that liberal with it yet.
Okay.
We're all doing the best with what
I'm
we
a
got.
self-appointed facilitator.
Look, by default, I get to take that position, right? Like where we're currently, like by default, it's like for now, it's like it doesn't always have to be that way though. And yes, like you all are, right? But I also just wanted to be like, well, I don't know if I am either, right? So like,
okay,
that's my point, and I do it every day.
That's the yes and. Because you're not stuck in I'm the one. Then it's a no.
That's right, and it will be. It'll be so much more work than it needs to be.
it's got to be light and free.
Yeah.
To keep the joy.
How do we scatter? We need to make sure, right? So it's gather, breakthrough, and scatter. That is the ground rules. And how do you scatter? You scatter. Everyone scatters brighter and lighter. That is the rule. I hate rules, but it's like that's what a facilitator has to hold the ethic, hold the integrity of the group.
Yeah. And so you said gather and scatter. You said gather and scatter. What did you say after that? Which is
gather,
the rules?
Breakthrough, scatter.
Okay.
Like every session is basically that. We gather with an invitation. There's breakthroughs that happen, and then we scatter lighter and brighter.
Lighter and brighter. There we go. Thank you. Lighter, brighter.
And what is it? It's like that's that internal fire. That's our passions, right? That's our joys. That's our expansions.
Oh, this is amazing, Jesse. Thank you. This is
For
so beautiful.
you and I, it is. I don't know about the rest of them.
And it doesn't matter. What matters is
also,
you and I right now.
But here's what's really good is like people get to hear what goes into the planning, like what's in the background, what's the intention, right? And it's like that. And it's like when people can see the beginnings of it, right? Only people want to see proof.
Yeah.
Like that's why we're so attached to proving. People need the proof.
And on this recording, here it is.
That's right.
This is just a genuine, heart-centered approach.
That's right. And over 1,000 hours, right? That are maybe 2,000 hours that are there. It's like, oh, there will be technology available to go back and dissect our history.
Oh yeah, you could probably. Yeah, if there was an AI that there might be it's already that you can comb through your YouTube channel and create content based off of everything. Kind of summarize the gist and start to break it down into amazing frameworks and things that can help people have even greater breakthroughs. Just thoughts flying out. I gotta go, guys. I want to stay, but it's time to go to my
Well,
day. So
it's been a good long day also.
yeah,
Yeah.
and I don't want to go, but I was really looking forward to this morning, and what a beautiful, amazing morning conversation. Thank you so much, everyone.
Well, you have a beautiful day,
Thank you,
Will.
Will.
I will.
You guys,
How you do? Bye.
we'll see you
Take
soon.
care, Will.
Bye.
Well, anything before we scatter?
Oh, we do like the fireworks.
Yeah. Thank you.
Just get a lighter and brighter. You all have a blessed day.
Thank
Love
you.
and
You
hugs.
all. You
Much
too.
love,
Thank you
Jesse.
all.
Thank you.
Thank you all. Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.